Cause it's Monday and we're here to start a new adventure. This game someone gifted to me a couple years ago, I think, during one of the Steam sales when I was doing one of my buy me a game and I'll do you a doodle of a character things. And they had me draw someone from the game, so I am curious about that character because they looked very cool. And I'm loving everything going on this screen. That is for sure. Purple and magical symbols? Hell yeah. Okay, good. Start at the beginning. Good afternoon. Spookiest time of day.
You ready, Sally?
Rumor, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have to do voices.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Murder victim. Freya Fellow, 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's tower. Flora was present as she was posing for her portrait. Freya was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Unless you see the painting did it. A small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. Surrounded by a circular lake, the water is an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. Okay. Got Freya. Spooky painting. Oh. Can look even closer. Right. People. Connections. Notes. How was Freya killed? Those voices in the music now. Oh, map mode. Towers, naturally we'll be going up. And it's us. Is there anything else to poke around here?
It's a bird bath.
Sure is.
Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Doot, 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 doot.
Please don't do that.
But what if it's important?
The ground's moist, but it's not muddy. Wonder how often it rains here.
I cannot believe how exciting this murder investigation is already.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent, wooden wind chimes.
The ground's moist. Wonder how often it rains here.
I cannot believe how exciting.
Right. Move on.
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape.
There's a cassette tape in
Or
there.
it used to be.
Hmm.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second. This
Oh.
isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
Let's come back later. It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
We're taking notes.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet. It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand. Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah. Tangle tour.
Twir. Oh,
What? Pick up the O?
Oh.
No.
there's an
Oh
O.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tangle.
Twir.
How do I skip dialogue if I've already heard it?
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us. Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody.
Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for birds?
Looks like someone tried to chop it down, but then gave up.
Can you blame them?
Ah, there's a heart engraved in the tree. I didn't know people actually did that.
PPFF.
That sounds like someone from the two families is in love.
Don't think it's locked.
Well, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah. Is that an envelope?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
They left it outside in a bush.
No, definitely.
Single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have memorized it, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Okay. Can go in. I'm gonna keep poking around the base.
Let's head to the
first,
crime
though.
scene first.
Oh,
It's at the
okay.
top of the west tower, I think.
Goodbye.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion? This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very P-ceptive of you.
Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. In sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be, except there's nothing living in it. Anymore.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Ooh, here we go. Alright, so we have the fellows. Pointer. Flora?
Flora Remington.
I think she's mentioned in our case file.
Or is she the... it was Freya who was painting.
Freya Fellow.
The murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family at all.
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was married twice.
Scandal.
Lady Fellow.
Do these people not have first names?
Selena Stonetop.
Gotta click on everyone.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Felicia Fellow.
Felicia.
Freya's mother.
Do you think she still lives here?
Damien Dusk.
Whoa. Is it too late to change my name to Detective Dusk?
It's Freya's father. Do you think he still lives here?
Flint Fellow.
A purebred fellow, if there ever was one. Married a randomer, though.
Do you think he still lives here?
Emily Everstone. Do you think she still lives here? Fitzfellow. Half fellow, half Everstone.
Do you think he still lives here? Fiona Fellow. Dead center. She must be important.
She's half fellow and half Remington.
Do you think she still lives here?
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here? Penelope Pointer.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
Buck Brackley.
What a name.
Do you think he still lives here?
Alright, Western Tower would be...
Stairs.
Crime scenes up here. Ooh, tall.
The whole room has a strange feeling about it.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Laura appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Ooh, okay. Something very strange about how Freya was killed. Laura's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood. Because it stabbed
Laura's
Freya.
portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm. Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
An unfinished painting. Well, let's talk to her. I'm gonna put her around first.
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
And let it back.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. I can't even move it over because it's a circle and I can't get in the corner.
Supposedly, Freya was working. Looks like she was still.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
Oh.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
Someone heard something they didn't like. Plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it, all the way from the horn down through the tape deck. Damn.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
To Freya.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
I was gonna say, that
I
looks
think
like a
it's
puzzle.
container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
Swap the positions of the gems. Rotate the egg to see a clue on the back. Just tell? Or is it just showing us what needs to connect with what? Oh no, it is sort of the... No, it's not the same. Hang on a second. Oh, it's rotated. So this needs to be one of those. This one is blue. One, eight. Purple?
Nope.
Did you check the clue on the back of the egg? I'm pretty sure it explains where to put each of the gemstones.
Okay, so what I was doing was this one here corresponds to this one here, this shape. So it's green on the long end and red on the short end. So I have green on the long end and red on the short end. And then this one corresponds to this one. So they're both purpley diamondy ones. And then this one is along L, and we have here. So we have the blue on the longer side and a purple triangle on the shorter side. Blue long side, purple triangle shorter side. This little one here is this one here. We have purple by the jagged, yellow at the long end. This one is here, so we have red on the side with a little tab to blue. And then we have yellow and green. Oh, I have this one reversed. Whoops.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
What's in the egg?
Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg's a clue, right?
Currently empty. The lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws. Alright, so something probably goes in there.
Freya's painting supplies.
Mountain. Wiggle. Red one is mountain. All the other ones seem to be this screw. Glass pots are all cracked down one side. Okay. All down one side, so it's the same direction then. What's that happening? Something in between those two.
Freya's painting supplies. Flora... Fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried. Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely You must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that is.
Half the room is a big open window.
If there was a knife, maybe someone threw it over the side.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
God, that's an eyeball.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing. That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there.
Okay. Now, maybe we can poke around, find some other people to talk to, get a sense of what happened. Ooh, workshop. He's sleeping. I'm gonna poke around first.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Yeah, that looks like map coordinates are gonna go in there. Alright, so we're standing on an island where we can see a palm tree straight ahead in the distance. We have a sea creature on the left, pretty close, and a green rock on the right. Palm tree and birds, actually. Okay, so if it's this one, then we're looking straight ahead, we're seeing birds, and we're seeing the tree, which is correct, and they're like way far in the distance. And then if we're facing this way, then at our left side we have the creature, and a little bit further away we have the rock. Because it looks like this is a little closer than this is. So that puts us at H6 facing west.
I did it. What do I win?
Not bad. What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Oh, cute. A model resembling a child with green hair, a woman with gray hair, a red and white bird, and a broad-shouldered man. Well, that looks like the man who was sitting there. That looks like the woman who's being painted, and that looks like the girl who was painting and is now dead. And that looks like the same kind of paint that her paints had label on the front, except she had a red one with a mountain symbol. So if she had the one that was supposed to be here, or he had one that's supposed to be there, then maybe the blood on the knife in the painting is because there's blood in that paint jar. So. They do anything with these?
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
That looks like that guy over there. Wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been half painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. Yeah, see? These paints have the mountain symbol on them. She had the wrong paint. How do I, like, make ingenious connections? Freya's paints. I like. Okay, it doesn't look like I can do anything here.
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason.
It's cute.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh. It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer / treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Hello. We're detective solving a mystery.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. Well, I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, on a project.
Yeah, it's very stylish. I like
Your
it.
room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. uncertain as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
I do that. We've talked to Felix, we've talked at Flora, but she hasn't spoken to us. She was being painted by the victim, who was found.
What's this?
Oh, this is showing.
It's
them.
my case
Oh,
file.
that's cool.
It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, maybe we
You
can show
mean
her
to say
some-
you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I find it comforting.
Oh, we gotta ask him about the paints.
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course, I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that. It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall. It would have been a beautiful painting, as rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Oh, actually, that might be not a knife. It might be like a feather with a red tip, if it's something to do with this white and red bird.
Ah, you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people. Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it? That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall. I'm as confused as you are.
Alright.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know. You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Okay.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife. Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked? Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
I'm taking a look at the
What is that?
genealogy.
I think it's a family trait.
Alright. So, Freya was painting Flora. Who's married to Felix. They have a kid. Tapes probably belong to Poppy. It's is starting. Okay. Kind of want to go explore the grounds more, actually. Ah, it's the character I drew. Good, I can find out what her deal is.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Ooh.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
I mean, these are 8. This is a 9, so that works. This is a 12. Oh. 2. 12. 6. Oh.
I'll do this later.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yay.
Nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do. It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so? As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear, but sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say. Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, Detective. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky. 314 cases solved. 314. I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told? Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking. Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No.
No. Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed, too. You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. I'd tell him not to quit his day job. But he hasn't got one, has he?
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse.
It's Tangle Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
It's a sea serpent, turned into stone by a wizard.
If you say so. What happened to its head?
Beheaded. By the same wizard.
Greenhouse! Oh, actually, it's time for a break. Run some ads, and we'll be right back to explore the rest of this tower and speak to this mysterious gardener. Don't go away. Be right back. Alrighty. Get back to it.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. Soil in the pot is an unusual blue color.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Is that fruit? It's
Too
shaped-
shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing.
Safe to eat?
I'm gonna say no. Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening. Bags of soil.
It's so blue.
A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Hey, here we go. Dark Greek letters. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. I'm just gonna take a photo of this for my own reference, so I don't have to go digging through my notes for it.
Kinda
Oops.
reminds me of a periodic table.
Greek letters, I think. What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Oh, you're Fitz.
And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like, condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent. She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind. I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, I love him.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony?
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny and edible fruit?
You look at it. How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form. It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story. That's quite sweet, really. Felix made that? Huh. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something. but I can't remember the details. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation. Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know? Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting. It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's a big empty space. An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know.
Huh. Neither of these lights have an actual light bulb.
They're just decorative.
Oh, so decorative. It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP."
That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
There's someone outside the window.
Something outside the window. It's probably just a rock.
You sure?
Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock. Sort of.
Oh. Oh, and then the other sides are... No? Yeah? I don't know what order it's in, but... Oh, it's there, actually.
Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find it.
Yeah, or it can be obnoxious
Still
and
I
locked.
think the line's drawn on the
posh as last one.
That was.
It looks like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, but
That was.
it looks like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, but with multiple.
The droplet shape. That's the arrow pointing down shape. Oh, it is the pointy one. So it's thing in here.
I did it.
Yeah.
What do I win?
Not bad. Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh. That's kind of ominous.
PPFF. I think that's the same initials that we saw carved in the tree. Don't have a copy of the family tree.
It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
Oh.
Nothing. Still
The
locked.
tiles have all got that same sun symbol on them.
Those moon symbols in the slots.
Maybe they're connected.
Nope.
Maybe the
So
info
where is it?
somewhere else.
Moon.
Let's come back once we know.
Sun. I feel like we saw something with moon and sun in it, but... Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this family tree so I don't have to keep coming back to it.
What is that?
I
should
think it's a family
probably
tree.
Click on all their names too, actually.
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by accident, is it?
Do you think she still lives here? Percival Pointer. He married into the Remington family.
Do you think he still lives here?
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here?
Okay, so we had EP. So any one of these are PP names. And then we have 3, 4, 5 fellows. 6 fellows who are FF. God, it could be any number of combinations.
It's not locked.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this. A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
Stairs.
We should try and be finished before it gets dark. No pressure.
Freya's room. Okay.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight? Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kinda simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either. There's no natural light in here at all.
I like it.
Freya's plants. They must not need... It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe. They're not real paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Oh, hey, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so the shortest one is on this end, the tallest one is on this end. Shortest one is orange? Orange handle. Let's say that one goes. And then the second one is a green paint one. The third one is a fan brush. Pink handle. Say that goes up. Blue one's there. Wedge shape.
There we go.
Perfect. What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Photo of 2 young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. Photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. Alright, so we have some sort of trio. Someone got kicked out of a friend group.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Yeah, a piece of adhesive tape is stuck on it. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges. Alright, so it connects to some sort of information thing. Okay. Okay, so we've got some established relationships. Facts.
It's a fish, I think?
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark. Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Do you think this was all?
I don't know.
No windows either. Even though we're halfway up a tower, someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
She have a pet. Ah, the library. Oh, hey, it's the girl from the photo.
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis? About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator. You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing. What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi.
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other? Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you were friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond. Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the 2 possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct. Name, Haksha. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard. Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact.
Hell yeah.
Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly 1 grandparent. Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
1 week ago. Pointer Tower. That's the other side, isn't it? What do you think of this?
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't
Okay.
it freak you out?
No. In fact, it
So
may
why
be
is her
considered rather reassuring.
dad have blood paint?
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
Mm-hmm.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
Yeah, I don't think that part's related to the murder in that it wasn't blood from the murder.
It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya? I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third. That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is. The fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible?
Depends.
On what?
On the structural integrity of your teeth. That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs.
Is she laughing?
The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course. Curious. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are?
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right. But why?
I do not know why. What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her. I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
Not with that attitude.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Alright.
Can't wait.
Poke
There's
around the
something
library
about
some more.
Felix's painting.
Yay!
skills.
Now can we go poke around?
Something.
Ask about that?
suspicious.
Let's ask him about it. It's an illustrated book about birds.
I think her mom had some sort of bird, pet, friend, companion that either died or disappeared. That's what made her so upset. The painting is a feather of them.
And it's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird. Yep, there we go. That's it. Very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seed of the Tantum amica. Hey! Look at this! Look at this feather! Alright, that's the plant. So we should see if that plant. Look at the little one! Hey, that's the same symbol as on the paints.
Books about geography.
Skip. Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Books about space.
They're relatively untouched. Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Oh, weird. We're in an egg. The tower's in an
Hey,
egg.
look at that.
It's an egg lake.
It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Hey, look at that. It's a model. What do you
That
think?
would make an
It's musty in here.
What exactly does that mean? What is must?
Must. You ask such stupid questions.
Nice. What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Oh, hell yeah. Maybe this has to do with the chart that's in the garden.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
Math equations.
Don't look at them for too long. You'll give yourself a headache.
Math.
Don't look at them. You'll give yourself a headache.
Taking a picture of this too.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that. Books about nature? Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
A book on the floor. Fundamental entomology.
I guess somebody dropped it.
Maybe while they were taking all of bug books.
Books about geography.
Skip. Books about insects.
Well, there's not a single.
Huh.
Alright. Let's explore a couple more rooms. Let's finish up this left side of the towers. And probably stop there for the day. Fifi's room.
A new suspect. Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge.
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse. I don't know what that drink is. That's even worse.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe.
It looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, let's look at stuff.
I'm not
Oh,
sure
key.
this is a microscope.
Aha! Okay, so we gotta line it up so it makes this key picture. So we need to magnify this one. Oh, I think that's too far. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! That might be too. Oh, it says it with its 3 times magnification, 1 time minimum. Okay. So if we say this is like 0, then that needs to be maximum. That needs to be a little small. That.
No, that was it.
Nice work. Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with a strange metal device. Cool. Wait, so if we go back to... Oh, cool. Okay, so it shows us where they went. Using the garden. Apparently went to action. Here and then right. Alright, so you can see you cross paths. That's cool.
The stuff Fifi's thrown away.
You gonna rummage through the trash can?
No, that is quite beneath me, thank you.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me. Plus, they're kinda dusty.
And what
Fifi's
is
got
this?
something pinned up here.
What is all this?
Ah! Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's the math equations from the board. Hey, we're on there!
And that's you, Sally.
What? I do not look like that, do I?
These two are partners. These two are married. Hawkshaw and the professor. The Fritz. Bird lady and the professor. Interesting.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that? Maybe it works. It's Detective Hawkshaw.
I think that's supposed to be Felix. Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this? Who is that?
No idea. That's gotta be Flora.
Who is that?
No idea.
Looks like Fitz.
I'll have to look and see if it's the same as the... Okay, yeah, the math stuff around the size is the same as the stuff in the chalk. I don't see any correlation between the people and the things, the letters on the chalkboard. Alright. That seems
Did
to
you
be...
notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Alright, so I think that's everything in here. We're gonna stop there for tonight. And we'll be back next week to continue the mystery. Thanks so much for hanging out. Good night, everybody.